If you run a small business in Singapore, there is a good chance you have heard the letters PSG thrown around, usually by someone telling you that you are leaving money on the table. The Productivity Solutions Grant, almost always shortened to PSG, is one of the most talked about support schemes for local companies. But plenty of owners are still not sure what it actually does, whether they qualify, or how to even begin. In the next few minutes, we are going to fix that in plain English with no jargon and no hype. Before we start, one honest note. This channel is educational only. We are not a government agency, we are not a vendor, and we cannot apply for any grant on your behalf. Treat this as a friendly starting map, and always confirm the live details on the official government portal before you act. At its simplest, the Productivity Solutions Grant is a government-supported scheme that helps Singapore companies adopt technology and equipment that make them more productive. The idea is straightforward. Instead of paying the full price for an approved digital tool or a piece of equipment, an eligible company can have part of that cost supported by the grant. The aim from the government side is to nudge smaller firms to modernize, to automate the slow and repetitive work, and to compete on more than just long hours. Think of it as a structured discount with rules attached, rather than free money with no strings. The PSG is administered by Enterprise Singapore, the government agency that supports local enterprise growth, and applications are made through the Business Grants portal on the Go Business website. You will sometimes see other agencies mentioned for specific sector solutions, but for most owners, the journey starts and ends on that one portal. The important thing to remember is that the scheme is run by the government. The rules are set by the government, and the final decision is always theirs. Nobody outside that process can promise you an approval, and you should be cautious of anyone who says otherwise. What the grant can cover. This is where it gets practical. The PSG generally supports two broad things. The first is pre-approved digital solutions, which are software tools that have already been assessed and listed for the scheme. These cover everyday business needs like customer management, accounting and invoicing, inventory tracking, booking systems, human resource and payroll tools, and cybersecurity. The second is equipment, the physical machines and hardware that lift productivity in sectors such as food and beverage, retail, logistics, and construction. The key word in both cases is pre-approved. The scheme works from a curated list, so the tool or machine you have in mind usually needs to already be on that list to count. You can browse the available solutions directly on the Go Business portal, filtered by sector and by the problem you are trying to solve. To make that concrete, picture the kinds of tools that tend to show up. A small retailer might look at a point-of-sale system that tracks every sale and syncs stock automatically. A busy clinic or salon might want an online booking and reminder tool so the phone stops ringing all day. A growing services firm might adopt accounting software that turns hours of manual invoicing into a few clicks. In sectors like food and beverage or logistics, the support may extend to physical equipment, from kitchen automation to handling gear. The common thread is simple. Each solution should remove a real bottleneck and give you back time, which is exactly the productivity story the scheme is designed to reward. How much support to expect? Now for the question everyone asks first. How much does it actually cover? Here we have to be careful because the support level has changed more than once over the years, and it can differ by the type of solution. At some points, the scheme has supported up to half of the qualifying cost, and during special periods that figure was temporarily higher. The point is not to memorize a number from a video. The point is to check the current rate on the official portal at the moment you apply, because that is the only figure that actually binds. Treat any percentage you hear secondhand, including from this video, as background context and not as a promise. The portal will always show you the live support level for the specific solution you choose. Who can qualify? Eligibility is the part that trips people up, so let us walk through the usual shape of it, while remembering that the precise criteria are set by the agency and can be updated. In broad terms, the scheme is built for businesses that are registered and operating in Singapore. The solution or equipment you are funding is expected to be used here by your Singapore-based operations rather than parked overseas. There are typically expectations around local ownership and around your business being in a reasonable financial position to start and finish the project. Some solutions also have their own specific conditions layered on top. None of this is meant to scare you off. Most genuine local small businesses fit the general profile. But because the details move, the honest answer to "do I qualify" is always the same. Open the portal, read the criteria for your chosen solution, and confirm it against your own company before you spend a cent. How the application works. Let us turn the theory into a sequence you can actually follow. The healthy way to think about PSG is apply first, buy second. Here is the typical flow. You start by identifying the business problem you want to solve, whether that is messy invoicing, slow stock counts, or a booking process that eats your evenings. Next, you browse the pre-approved solutions on the Go Business portal and shortlist the ones that fit. Then you get a quotation from the listed vendor for the exact solution. After that, you log into the Business Grants portal, usually with your business identity credentials, and you submit your application with the quotation and the required details before you commit to the purchase. You wait for the outcome. If the application is supported, you proceed with the project, and later you submit a claim with proof such as invoices and payment records to receive the supported portion. The exact screens and documents can change, so follow the live instructions inside the portal as you go. A couple of practical notes on the mechanics. To transact on the portal, you will generally need your business identity login, the credential your company uses to access government digital services, so it helps to sort that out early rather than on the day you want to apply. It is also worth being realistic about timing. Processing is not instant, and there can be busy periods, so build in some breathing room rather than assuming approval will land the same week. None of these timelines are fixed promises, and they can vary, so once again the portal is your source of truth. If you treat the application like a small project with its own checklist, the whole thing feels far more manageable than the rumors suggest. A simple example, let us tie it together with a short made-up scenario purely to show the shape of the journey. Imagine a family-run bakery that is drowning in manual stock counts and handwritten orders. The owner decides the real problem is time lost to admin. She browses the portal, finds a listed inventory and ordering tool built for small food businesses, and requests a quotation from the vendor. Before paying anything, she submits her application on the Business Grants portal with that quotation attached. Once she receives an outcome and proceeds, she keeps every invoice and payment record so the later claim is clean. Notice what this story is not. It is not a promise that she will be approved, and it is not a specific figure. It is simply the orderly path, and that path is the part you can control. Mistakes that slow you down. A few avoidable errors cause most of the frustration, so let us name them. The most common one is buying before you apply. Many owners get excited, purchase the software, and only then look for support, which can put the funding out of reach. The general rule is to secure your application status before you commit. The second mistake is choosing a solution that is not on the approved list, then being surprised it does not count. The third is treating eligibility as a guess instead of reading the actual criteria for your solution. And the fourth is incomplete or sloppy documentation at the claim stage, which slows everything down. Notice that every one of these is preventable with a little patience and a careful read of the portal. Slow down at the start and you move faster overall. How PSG compares. It also helps to know where PSG sits among its neighbors, because Singapore has more than one support scheme. In very rough terms, PSG is aimed at adopting ready-made, pre-approved tools and equipment to lift everyday productivity. Other schemes are built for different jobs, such as larger transformation projects, overseas expansion, or training your people. We will break those down in their own videos, because each deserves a proper look. For now, the simple takeaway is this. If your goal is to adopt a proven, listed tool or machine to work smarter, PSG is usually the first scheme worth checking. If your plans are bigger or more custom, a different grant might fit better, and there is no harm in exploring both. Quick recap, let us pull it all together. The Productivity Solutions Grant helps eligible Singapore businesses adopt pre-approved digital tools and equipment that raise productivity. It is run by Enterprise Singapore through the Go Business Grants portal. The support level and the eligibility rules can change, so the only number and the only criteria that matter are the live ones on the official portal. The smart sequence is to identify your problem, choose a listed solution, get a quotation, apply before you buy, and claim with proper proof afterwards. Avoid the classic traps, especially buying too early and skipping the criteria. Do that, and you turn a confusing acronym into a clear, manageable plan. A closing reminder: remember the spirit of this channel. We hand you the map and the vocabulary so the official process feels far less intimidating. But the official sources always have the final word. Rules get updated, support levels get revised, and new solutions get added all the time. So treat this video as your orientation, not your contract. When you are ready to move, go straight to the Go Business portal, read the current details for your chosen solution, and make your decision from there. If this made the PSG clearer, subscribe for a new Singapore brand breakdown. Because the more of these you understand, the less funding you leave sitting on the table.